Welcome back to Hannity. So last night, the State Department released more than 3,000 emails from Hillary Clinton and her tenure during her time as Secretary of State. Here now with all the details, our own Ed Henry. Ed, does she really have that hard a time with a fax machine, and she doesn't know when cabinet meetings are? Very revealing.
Some interesting moments. She heard on the radio there might be a cabinet meeting, wanted to get in on that. It turned out it wasn't a cabinet meeting after all. Went back and forth, 15 minutes of emails back and forth with her advisor, Huma Abedin, as you suggest, about how to use the fax machine. Some lighter moments, perhaps. Serious moments, though, about Benghazi, as you've heard. Also about Sidney Blumenthal's role as an outside advisor while she was Secretary of State. Turns out he was involved much earlier, 2009, earlier than we ever knew, even though the White House had banned him from working here at the State Department. The other interesting issue is that David Axelrod said just a couple of weeks ago that he at least suggested that, like Bill Daley, the former chief of staff at the White House, he didn't know anything about Hillary Clinton's private email deal. Listen.
It is unusual. He was the chief of staff. I confess I didn't, I was there. I was the senior advisor. I didn't know that.
So if you did find out when you were there, if you did find out when you were there, would you say, hey, whoa, wait a minute, guys, should we all talk about this?
I might have asked a few questions about that.
Well, now it turns out in some of these emails that were released by the State Department that David Axelrod actually sent at least one email to Hillary Clinton's private account. So he did know about it. He's clarifying today and saying, look, he knew she had a private account. He didn't know that she was using it exclusively, and he did not know that she was using a private server. But as you can see, these emails raising new questions, Sean.
Where I come from, that might be called a lie by some people. It's going to be interesting to see the fallout from that. All right, Ed Henry on the campaign trail. Ed, good to see you. Thank you. And now with more reaction, author of The Queen, The Epic Ambition of Hillary Clinton and the Coming of a Second Clinton Era. Radio talk show host Hugh Hewitt. God forbid. That sounds like a lie to me. I think David Axelrod lied. Rombo Deadfish knew about it. Podesta knew about it. Lanny Davis apparently knew about the account. They all knew about it, right?
Well, Sean, I was the guy who asked Bill Daley on Meet the Press if he knew about the server. He said no. I was on the set when David Axelrod was asked by Meek in response to my comments about the server. He said no. I can believe they didn't know about the server because it's so reckless. It endangered the national security.
But they knew about the email account, and they denied knowing it.
They knew about the email. Yeah. But Axelrod was asked specifically about the server that morning. So I don't want to turn away from the fact that Hillary's server is the issue. Mike Morrell told me on my show, I'm sure he told you as well, Sean, the Chinese, the Russians, the Iranians, they all knew about Hillary's server. They all compromised it. They have all the emails that we're getting in drips and drabs from the State Department, and they even have the ones that she erased, her Nixon tapes emails. I'm
willing to raise some money and go to the Chinese and Vladimir Putin. I'd be willing to buy all the emails. I'm willing to raise a significant amount of money. What?
Yeah, Democrats have to worry about them being released in the middle of the campaign by Guccifer and by other people that had previously given them to Gawker and by Foreign Intelligence Agency, because they're out there.
Do you really believe this is the beginning of a second Clinton era? Do you really feel confident she's going to win?
She is the prohibitive favorite right now, Sean. I write in The Queen that the Irish bookies right now have her as a 10-11 favorite, and the next closest is Jeb Bush at 7-1. But these emails and this server are a potentially campaign derailing event. And I think the more we focus on them, in fact, there was one story in there today about Goodwin Liu, an Associate Justice of the California Supreme Court. It gives us a look inside of Hillary's operation and her mindset. She'll say anything to anyone at any time to win. That makes her a pretty formidable foe, but now we're getting to see inside the China closet. That's a good thing to know.
All right, the book is called The Queen, The Epic Ambition of Hillary and the Coming of a Second Clinton Era. Thanks, Hugh.